It's a way to start a stream. Ladies and gentlemen of the crypto space, we're live on a Thursday, September 23rd at 12:19 p.m. Not enough time in the day, boys and girls, but I tried my best and I'm on the stream. We got a topic. I mean, half the thing is I need a topic to discuss to start these things off. I got to figure out what to talk about. It's always something to talk about. I always tell you guys I think about this stuff about 5 seconds before I start the stream, and got a nice topic today. Seeing some serious yield getting thrown around on stablecoins. Stablecoins are not a core position. Stablecoins provide optionality. What I thought of for today's topic is obviously stablecoins and how to put them into current market context. I've had historical opinions. I've had large stablecoin positions at times. I don't think stablecoins should be the core portfolio. And I think that requires an evolution of mindset and the volatility of the principal components of a portfolio need to be accepted. The portfolio is a tool. The portfolio is a business. The portfolio is a pizza shop. The portfolio generates revenue and capital. And that revenue can be saved, accumulated. And obviously, a lot of folks think in terms of compounding. And maybe that's a little too aggressive. And that's why I like that convex position, CVXCRV, because, Badger auto compounds. And there's merit to that, but that's not necessarily consistent with my philosophy. That's too bullish. And that's trying to make as much capital gains as possible, or, appreciation of the principal components. And I like the optionality. You're able to claim and do what you want with the capital. And we all know stablecoins work in the crypto space. So to take old ideology and bring it up to speed, I like the idea of taking earned yield, revenue, income, and storing it in stablecoins, which work, producing 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. MIM tool pool, Arbitrum, is cranking out 200% returns, which will get diluted, but still, that's the point. The point is the yield is there on stables. Stables provide optionality. We don't need to necessarily aggressively compound. Food for thought. Whether you stop compounding, obviously folks want to grow their principal portfolio, and it's a luxury to have a large enough portfolio to generate an income stream. So many folks are not there. But this is where you set targets and goals, and you remain rational and restrained. You don't have to make as much money as possible. Pigs get slaughtered, they always say. So set reasonable and rational targets. A quantity. I have the quantity of CVXCRV that I've been looking for quite a while. It took time to accumulate. And these positions are revenue generating. And why am I deploying it if I've reached my targets? Accumulating the stablecoins makes logical sense. So this is a process, an ideology, a philosophy, and all that fancy shit. But it's food for thought. Set targets, make sure they're rational, and then, you're able to accumulate your income, and then you have a choice. Choice is meaningful. To deploy, to not deploy. And then we have all our words of wisdom. NOMO FOMO. Can't own everything you want to own. But at least when you take your income and you store it in the form of a stable coin, you have that optionality. Now, I'm in no position, nor do I have any interest currently, of taking any principal and converting to stables. I don't care if the market contracts 60%. That'll be painful. But I have the quantity of assets that I believe will be functional now. And if the market gets hit, they'll recover. And in the coming years, they'll be more functional. I have the quantity of assets to produce the revenue stream I'm looking for. So set your targets, understand your time horizons, lay this shit out on a time scale so you can see the sequence of events playing out. And I do that mentally. A lot of times when obviously I'm on the stream, I'm not looking at you guys like I am at the moment. And I'm looking down is because I'm thinking and I'm visualizing, time frames, positions, risk, position sizes, and all these things that we think about on a daily basis when we're managing our business. It's a goddamn business. There's no difference in this and a business. You guys own businesses. If anyone tells you otherwise, they're not seeing what we're doing for what it is. If you're managing capital and your capital is generating revenue, you're a business owner. You don't need a damn corporation or a business license to tell you that you're doing a business. This is a business. Run a business. Building a stablecoin position when? Hope that was a decent introduction. I got a lot going on today. Let's pop it over to the main screen and see who's in the stream. Talman's in the house. Daniel, good morning. Sean, a pleasure. Afternoon for you. Dylan, yes. Scott, fifth day in a row catching my stream. It's a pleasure. I hope this all helps, guys. Helps me. Helps me understand what the heck I'm doing and why I'm doing it. Chris, a pleasure. Breakless, afternoon. Noah, will you be checking out Foam? F-O. What the heck is this? Community event by Olympus for Ohm? No, there's probably a lot of money to be made in Olympus DAO and obviously Wonderland, but I'm not doing it, and that's okay. And that's my choice. I've had some pretty good opportunities over the last 2 years that I didn't do, and I probably could have made a lot more capital, but I didn't do it. I don't rush into things. I take my time. I pass on opportunities. I stick to the story. I stick to my narrative. And it's not like I've taken my capital and put into some random asset that doesn't have like an awesome story to be told. I mean, like you put it into some random coin that's goes up 10,000%. Why did it like Doge? It goes all the way up, it comes all the way down off a stupid narrative. Doesn't generate any revenue. My chosen portfolio has a story. I could sit down for hours and tell the story of the portfolio about each asset. It would literally take hours, the way I speak. So I don't own a lot of the things I would like to own, and that's okay. Are you going to tell us how to earn 8% yield like Gensler? Gensler? Yeah, put that shit in a USDC position and you'll earn 3 times, 4 times that. Right? Then Wegner. Howdy. Stops in the house. Digilight. No, I'm my man, 38 and feeling great. Yep, I'm 38. I feel pretty good. The captain's in the house. We talking about Adam. Let's see what Adam's doing. It's been moving around. It's been doing good. Damn, Captain, $40, $39, 74 cents. We've come a long way, Captain. Check back in 4 years. It's gonna be a heck of an asset. Wow, I think I put like 8 grand into that, or 10 grand into that, or something like that. Nah, maybe it was more. Maybe it was like 15 grand. I think it's worth 192. It's a damn good position. Woo! Yeah, you guys know me and the Cosmos story, the Cosmos narrative, the China narrative. Things take time. I bought Adam 2 years ago. Things take time. There's no rush. And by buying and selling and over trading and not waiting for the narrative that you see and understand to play out, chasing assets, you're introducing a lot of anxiety and uncertainty into the portfolio management process. Got to resist that. Got to play things differently. Got to resist the temptation and the FOMO, because that's what everyone else does. And the vast majority of everyone else don't succeed. So we can't do what everyone else does. We have to do it differently. Diesel Hound, there's nothing wrong with being rich, but it's clear that some wealthy people want to keep other people down. It's disgusting. Yeah. There's a lot of wealthy people that want to help other people. There's also a lot of other people that just want to keep it all for themselves. It's not a fair system. Is it a system? I don't know. I don't know what the heck it is. Conversations can be had about the fairness of the system or whatever it is. But there's a lot of philanthropy. Wealthy people give away a lot of money, but it's very complicated because of the quantity of participants, all with their own agenda, all with their own expectations, hopes and dreams and motivations. So it's not simple enough to say that wealthy people want to do something. There's a lot of different types of wealthy people. Relative to the rest of the world, I'm wealthy. The vast majority of the world makes, $30 a day. And I clearly, I don't like thinking about where I am on the ladder. It makes me feel bad. Anyway, I like giving to charity. I like giving to dogs that, the agencies and organizations that help animal abuse. Um, I have a couple of kids from Children's International. Anyway, gets me emotional. It's a very fucked up world in many regards. You guys know what I'm talking about. Did you already have a big cash out in 2017 to help build your portfolio where it is today? Yes, but relative to where I was in like 2019, um, I moved about one, two, 300% more cash in. So I had about like my story. I had about 30 grand like in mid 2019. Obviously, it was bleeding out. The markets were horrible. And end of 2019, I moved into total amount about 120 chip. I was still buying like in March and when everything crashed. I bought a Bitcoin on the wick down. That was crazy. Nobody knew what the hell was going on. And I did not have the narratives I have today. I was a different person in 2020 March. Things have evolved quick. I had very much an old school mentality back in beginning of last year. Nobody knew what the fuck DeFi was. Only a couple of people were talking about Uniswap. Uniswap 1.0, pre 2.0. It was a different world. Different world, the beginning of 2020. Literally, beginning of last year was a completely different world. It's still, we had no idea about yield and monetary policy and all this stuff that we have today. But I knew crypto was the place. So that's what I was doing. I guess I had maybe like 120 in March of 2020, give or take. And that's where I started. I guess this cycle. I don't think it's a cycle anymore. I think this is overwhelmingly a distinct market compared to historic environments. This didn't exist. This never existed, and it's the reason it's not the same anymore is because it's not like this never existed in Crypto. What's occurring and the functionality of these protocols has never existed before in history of finance, of sovereign countries. This is some serious shit that's going on. And anyone that doesn't see it, I do. I don't need to be told by anybody what I see. I'm old enough. I've seen enough corporate, workplaces, seen enough of the way these companies work and the way these countries work. My journey of education that I know it's different. And this is big shit. This is world changing shit. Literally, the memes. Popsicle finance has never been done before in the history of mankind. That's crazy stuff. Cross chain, yield optimized, liquidity providing. I mean, you can't even do that in Forex markets, and you can't even provide liquidity to Forex markets in legacy finance. So, that literally 2 sentences of analysis is historically novel. If you wanted to provide liquidity to a bank, Britain's pounds and dollars, so that when folks want to change dollars for pounds, you can't. There's no way for you to provide liquidity and capitalize on those transactions. But not only could you do that in DeFi, it's extremely profitable. And not only is it extremely profitable, there's protocols like Visor and I obviously lean towards Popsicle because of the developers and what we talk about. You guys know thus far that that's serious. They're going to be moving capital around, optimizing returns because it's in their best interest for the protocol to generate revenue. It's in the participants' best interest, the liquidity providers, because they're going to generate revenue, and that's going to draw in more capital in chasing returns, which is going to make more money for the protocol because it's a business for them. But it's a revenue sharing business. It's a social business. Unlike the greedy banks that control the Forex markets and don't let the general public provide liquidity. I don't need anyone to tell me it's different this time. And I will watch my fucking core portfolio drop 60% if legacy finance decides to take a shit. Because I'm going to watch it build back even bigger. That's my opinion. I'm going to treat my capital as a goddamn business because that's how I define it. And that makes me comfortable. And that's also me showing myself and my opinions and my conclusions self respect. I'm respecting the way I see what's going on. That requires no input, no opinion, no feedback, no analysis from anyone else. Because I am astute enough and competent enough, and I extend due diligence enough, and I am technically inclined enough, and I am professionally experienced enough. I am qualified enough to make those conclusions for myself, and I feel comfortable enough to share that opinion with other people. That's some deep shit right there. Oh, let me get some questions in. Hi, guys. Stacking, you're a big fan of staking Spell, or are you an actual user of minting and using MIM? Sure. I have, I did an OTC deal. I was one of the uh, investors, and I have a lot of streaming Spell, so I move it over and I stake it. I have no interest in doing anything else but putting it in. And now that it's collateralizable, where I could take on MIM debt and generate salary from stablecoin returns, LP positions. This is a no-brainer. So my point being was, am I a fan of doing that? Yes, I have. I got to stop moving it over because every time I move spell over from the stream, it locks it for 24 hours. So now I can't take any MIM debt today. And I want to because they just opened up the pool 2 staking on Arbitrum. And I don't have a capacity to take any debt. That's annoying. So tomorrow, that's what I'll do. Yeah, I take on very low risk. You know that, guys. We're talking like 10, 15, 20%, maybe if I'm feeling gutsy, 25%. 25% means, 75%. You need a 75% drawdown on the asset price to be liquidated. So I take very little risk. You could go up to 85% on spell based on the way they programmed it. So that's not something I would do. Holy shit! Look at the S&P 500 on the daily breaking above the guppies. Not even just the 50 SMA. That's some serious shit. If this breaks out above the guppies, and there for 4 hours, if this closes above the guppies, oh, markets are going to be in a frenzy. Anyway, I've been talking a lot. Let's look at a quick couple of charts. ICE looks good. That's a crazy couple of candles, and they're not even really launched yet. I got a nice ICE position at this point. Let's take a look at Spell real quick. Oh, no, I don't like this chart. I like this chart better. Wow. 0.4 cents, 0.412 cents. Wow. What else could I say? Would I take a position now? I don't know. I've had this for a while. I've had Spell down here on the, was that the 50 SMA? On the daily. So I've had for a while. I think I got the OTC deal right around here, give or take, before it broke out. Watch some big volatility to the upside. I think I took another position. I think I took it around here. Probably about a 30% bump in the portfolio at about 2.7 cents. We're at about 0.27 cents. We're at 0.412 right now. You got to peer through the madness. You got to peer through the presentation. Now, I know they're working on a user interface refresh, so I'm very much looking forward to that. And that's why you got to peer through the madness. Try and show this to legacy finance and be like, what the fuck is this? Look at these assets. What they would cringe at this and call it, like a HYIP, HYIP was a big thing for a while. It was just garbage, Ponzi schemes and shit, but they just don't understand. They really don't understand. They're just not in the loop. And that's a shame. And that's why I do this stream, guys. Because as I said, I don't need anyone to tell me what something is and what something isn't, because I am qualified to understand what something is and what something isn't. And I am impressed with the technology and the scale and scope and reach, the functionality of what I see. More so, I'm impressed with the minds. As a software engineer, I'm impressed with their productivity and capabilities. And to me, that's everything. You might have a protocol that makes a lot of money, very lucrative, speculatively, or maybe just practically on a daily basis. But in the end, you're allocating capital for the brain power, the minds. If you have a convex position or CDX or you're invested in what they built and Curve and their software vision for finance. And that's what's so profound about it. This isn't just fucking software. This isn't just a video game. You're talking about finance, and you're talking about finance in the context of legacy finance. So how could this not be seen as ridiculously impressive and novel and creative and all those good words? Damn it. Nothing but good vibes. Always a pleasure, Trevor. Digilight, damn player was getting poetic. That's right. Such a good point about cycles. Crypto is going beyond traditional markets. Yeah, we're going to get hammered at some point. Expect it. And, like when the market took a fat shit the other day, who was selling? I was scared. Wasn't selling. Convex took a fat hit. I got Convex over here. But I'm not afraid. I don't have fear of a capital loss. Because I know they're afraid. And they're more afraid than me. I guess that comes down to they have more to lose. And we're talking about more to lose. We're talking about the entire financial system when you're looking at S&P. Because if it breaks down, it'll go down here. That's a fat 10% drop. Actually, on the weekly, the 50 SMA is probably about 10%, give or take. And that's just a technical correction. Dare we go down there? Or dare we go down to the longer term moving averages? Bear in mind that's also like mean regressionism. And I'm not necessarily a mean regressionist. And to understand stuff like that, like the exponential age, that's Raoul Pau's territory to hear his narratives and how he tells the story. So I'm not deterred, yet fearful. My conviction is more than ever at this point. Crypto Bats built a nice position in ICE, been watching skins too. Yeah, myself as well. But it's okay. I'm never early and never late. And I can't own everything I want to own. What do we want? More coin. Kill us. It's a roll of the dice that we get good people in strategic positions to lead the government. When criminals are in those places, then we're fucked. That's right. Embarrassed state we're in. Yeah, it's very embarrassing. This is a ridiculous situation. Is there a place to go? Yes. Kill us. You go here and you go to stake on abracadabra.money. And this is straight spell. That's the whole point, and that's why it's so cool, because you put spell in, you get S spell, and S spell gives you transaction fees, or no, not transaction fees, I'm sorry, it gives you debt interest payments. So I think they have some improvements to make with how they present the return on investment. Um, all these people, $140 million of CVX3 pool, they're all paying 0.5%. And that 0.5% interest on $140 million is being used to purchase Spell from the open market and is given to Spell stakers. Spell automatically earns fees from MIM repayments from all the wizards proportional to your share of the pool. So you put your Spell in. The debt interest payments are used to purchase Spell on the open market, and that Spell is given to S Spell stakers. That's the way it works. $256 million worth of Phantom. God damn. Wow. Crypto bets. Getting a spell position next. Yeah. It's a heck of a chart. I'm no one for entries. You know, everyone always says buy the fear. I'm not so good at trading. I like to tell the stories that I tell. And I take positions and I have conviction. And now I have the strategy of stablecoins where you take your interest and you accumulate income and you store it in interest bearing positions because stablecoins work in the crypto space. So I stick to my stories. I stick to what I'm good at. And I'm certainly not good at taking positions. Who the hell could say it's logical and rational to buy at a price point that's up this much? I mean, it's up, it's up that much. So I can't help in that regard. Not easy. Any books you recommend reading? No books. Too slow. You need faster. Realvision.com. Understand the macroeconomic world. That's what really changed everything for me. Understanding legacy finance is what allowed me to understand how DeFi works. Because legacy finance is just shitty DeFi. How about that? And I mean that in an astute kind of way. Decentralization of money is a narrative I believe in. Yeah, so USDC and USDT are not decentralized. They're completely centralized, and they can be turned on and off depending on government regulation and enforcement actions. Hello, Mem. And Frax. I like Frax too. But hello, Mem. And I've sized my positions accordingly. Um, Daniel and crew. Yeah. I mean, Frax is big, but narrative wise, but Mim is ahead significantly cross chain. The scale and scope of what has been deployed and what's likely to come, there's much, much more momentum. I got a 4-year lock on FXS. I love those 4-year locks. You know, someone said to me recently, they always wondered who the the giga brain degenerates were that did 4-year locks. I do 4-year locks. If the narrative is that good, you lock it up. Give it a shot. It's a little bit of a gamble. Take some capital. What's 4 years? Crypto bets. I told my friends we need a Captain Rational soundboard. That'd be pretty cool. Never early, never late. That's crazy. Fine conviction catches my fancy. Stuff catches my fancy. No mo FOMO. Never go all in. Never spread too thin. Justin, are there any deflationary pressures on Spell? Well, yeah, there's a constant buy pressure. There's not a destructive nature to Spell. There's a max supply. There's deflate. I don't know. I don't know if it's a max supply. It depends on how the devs want it to behave. And I don't think, it's not decentralized in that regard. Most of their efforts are on adoption, not on a DAO and decentralization. That's okay. Now, that's a matter of trust. And that's where we are with this protocol. So there is no deflationary pressures. There's a disinflationary pressure given the max supply and the emissions, and the emission schedule, and the constant buy pressure from protocol debt repayment fees used to purchase Spell from the open market. But there's also an increase in Spell circulating supply because they use Spell as incentives to facilitate liquidity and drive MIM minting. Like MIM 2 pools crank it out 200 and something percent. And the bribes. Where do you think they get the Spell from for the bribes? So, I don't know. Everything can't fit the perfect narrative. Yeah, the Spell Maker chart is pretty cool. I know what you're talking about, Dave. Yeah. I'm not going to pull it up at the moment. Love that you can use SOM as collateral for MEM. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, ohm and time are just designed to go ballistically vertical. Spectacular. Chris, your calls are on point. No, it's a pleasure to hear your opinion. You're very welcome. I don't really make calls. I tell stories. And, you know, I tell good stories. Careless, what platform do you use to stake Spell? Abracadabra. Abracadabra.money. Um, yes, indeedy. Daniel, any advice for a crypto beginner? Stablecoins. So go here. Show him how to get capital on the Arbitrum. And you go over to Curve. Then you go to the factory pools. Then you go to the top one that's cranking out 17.2%. And you go to deposit. And you put in $10,000 worth of MEM. Wow, the MEM balance. So put some 10 grand worth of Tether. Probably Tether. No, wow. USDC. 10,000. So there's a balance skewing to USDC. Put 10 grand in there. Then you take these tokens. You go back to Abracadabra. You go to farm. And you hit this and you deposit it and you get in 150% of your money. It's getting diluted very quickly. It was 700% earlier, but come on. If it dilutes to 30%, one, you're getting transaction fees. Two, you're getting the incentivized returns. You're getting mega bucks, like 50%. Well, currently 150%. But let's say it settles down around 20, 30%. You get 20, 30% on dollars. Holy shit! Gensler is crazy. That's crazy. That video that he did should be reported for like financial abuse. That's messed up what he told kids to do. And I say that as a father. What he did is wrong. You don't tell kids to save. You teach kids about the financial system and how to deploy capital and how to earn a revenue stream and how to make money and what to do with it, how to respect it, collecting fiat. That's pretty disrespectful, the video he did. It's a shame. That was bad. Um, oh, I gotta scroll. I gotta scroll. What are your thoughts if the USA outlaws citizens to interact with stablecoins? Yeah, so that was what was, that's the thought behind MEM. So USDC and USDT are centralized. Their contract is centralized, meaning USDT and USDC can blacklist people. Uh, so DAI, you can't blacklist DAI, but DAI has a complex relationship with USDC. Frax currently has a complex dependency on USDC. Frax in the future is really where my interest lies and how they're talking about the CPI peg. So that's the speculative play there. And MIM is not entirely reliant on USDC. You can see that right here. So MIM is collateralized. Oh, I'm on Arbitrum. MIM is collateralized by a significantly diverse array of assets. So look, I mean, a minority is USDC and USDT. It's a little over $100 million, but it's I can't even calculate. There's $250 million worth of Phantom and 140. There's less stable coins, USDC and USDT collateralization than CVX3 pool. Food for thought. So I don't know. I don't think they can just turn off those contracts. There'll be riots in the streets if $100 billion worth of stable coins are locked down. Fidel, which coin? Which coin? I don't know, my friend. Dylan, Noah, what are your thoughts on Lido? Well, it introduces centralization. It just is what it is. Little mixed opinions in that regard. I'm not too afraid of a degree of centralization. A lot of folks talk about decentralization to the extent. Now, clearly, in a perfect world, decentralization is the goal, is the target. I'm not too afraid of a little bit of centralization because with centralization, trust is required. But with extensive due diligence and a little bit of risk tolerance, trust can be found. William, have you looked into Bancor? I know all about Bancor. Big deal. Big deal. And don't mean that sarcastically. I mean that, yeah, literally. I have a tiny Bancor position that I've had for 2 years. I've had Bancor for 2 years. Big stuff. Bancor has been around since 2017, give or take. UST, yeah, just not interested in it right now. Eventually, maybe. I'm seeing a lot of discussions around the curve bribes. Yeah, I get a bribe every week. I like bribes. I'll throw my votes around. It's all good. It's a free market. Spell will be giant. I hope so and think so as well. Vincent, any idea the difference between Wrap Phantom and Phantom? Yeah, it's the same thing as ETH and Wrapped ETH. So so Phantom on Phantom Opera chain and Ethereum on the Ethereum chain. You cannot use it part of a smart contract because it's not an ERC20, it's a platform asset. So you can only push it. So they wrap it such that it can be part of a smart contract and used in LP positions. So it can be moved around. That's the way it works. Hoping I'll eventually be able to lend Memo for Mim to purchase Spell. Thank you so much. My man. Memo for Mim to get Spell. Ooh. Watch the leverage. I'm not a fan of liquidations. I'm very, very risk considerate. Leandro, I'm a dad. Thank you. You're welcome. We can do better. We can do better. We can do better. And paper money, and I tell my kids that's it's hard because they're young and they're just starting to count. And my wife yells at me because it's not real. That's the fake money. This is real money. This is better money. This is the stuff my kids need to learn and understand. My oldest is 6.5. It's hard, but I have what I know. And a lot of what I know is an opinion. A lot of what I know is empirical fact. And I'm that type of personality that knows when he knows something. I know when I know something. You know what I'm saying? Uh, well, that was a damn joke. They think we are. They think that. Oh, Gensler. I don't know what the fuck they think because that video is pretty insulting. Because money is serious and saving is serious because it's for you and your family and your children. So that video is insulting, disrespectful, egregious, and probably is not intention. Maliciousness entails intention, but I mean, if it was like investment advice, that's like the worst fucking advice any financial advisor could give. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna earn 8% in a bank account. Yeah, no, and oh my god, it's basically just wrong. That was wrong. I don't even have the words for how fucked up that video was. Hey, quick question regarding AVAX. You got AVAX is hot. Just like 350 mil just went on to the platform. Can't own everything I want to own, and that's okay. Run up the likes. 61 people in the stream, 33 likes. We can do better. Terra dollars. Yeah. It's only collateralized by Terra. So, I'd rather a diverse basket of assets. The only one really hitting that is really Mim. Like, DAI does it, but, you know, it's a big deal. Yeah, I'm not so off centralization like most people seem to be. Yeah, I'm not either. You know, got to do your due diligence and figure out trust. How can quantum computers change the crypto business? Unknown. Speculative at this point. But 256 bits of security, you're pretty good. I wouldn't worry about it too much. What legacy asset is MIM close to? In your opinion, none. Does the US dollar operate like it at all? No. US dollar is paper. It is fiat. It is not backed by anything except full faith and credit. Whereas these dollars, these digital dollars, are backed by these volatile assets that have liquidation thresholds. And, you know, so that's the way it works. There's nothing comparable in history to what this is. Leandro, thumbs up. Appreciate it. Robert, made the live show. What's up? Always a pleasure. Stacking LUSD is a pure stable. Never forget. Yeah, well, many things are good, and that doesn't. That means, you know, I don't discount any asset. You guys know I talk about everything. I even talk about Hex on this stream. It's all good. I always say, don't be hating. I never hate. I just understand things for what they are. Pretty sure that the LUSD is backed by Ethereum. Yeah, that's not enough. You need a diverse basket of assets. That's the only way a stablecoin is effectively secure in many regards. Diverse basket of assets. Curve getting frisky here. Let's take a peek. Woo! Oh yeah, back above the guppies on the daily. I mean, you guys see the time scale I look on. I look on the daily. Wow, it gets above the guppy. Man, if it gets above that 50 SMA, that's gonna look nice. I mean, you know where we are. This is just, it could be months. It could take months for this full triangular compression to complete, but the entire history of Curve is a giant triangular compression. And I have my conviction in this regard. I mean, this could go into March of next year if it wants to, end of February. But I'm going to watch this thing break out. I'm going to watch it run the fibs and go up to $12 with the blow off top overshoot. It'll crash down to $8, settle around $9. And I'm going to be a happy camper, getting a couple 100%, cranking out 60% returns. I can't own everything I want to own, and I don't need to make as much money as I want to make. So this is okay. It's all good. Let's take a look at the charts real quick, and then we're gonna wrap this up. CVX above the guppies. Spell looks good. It's a heck of a chart. It's a crazy chart. Let's look at ICE real quick. I mean, ICE with a hell of a candle. Big sell off, obviously, at 750, and it found stability. So this is the 12-hour, a half a day. I should pop it on the daily one day. It's a heck of a chart. Let's look at the S&P real quick. Above the 50 SMA on the daily. Damn. Legacy Finance is having that 5% rally. Legacy Finance is like 5%. Yeah. Oh my God. That's big for them. Ooh, 5%. Yay. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up. I don't need to laugh at people. This is the entire country's life savings in their 401ks and all the boomers and the old people. So they're like, this is important stuff. And they're old. They don't know any better. Little do they know the folks in the crypto space laugh at them, is what it is. I don't mean it in a bad way. Couple of questions and we'll wrap it up. Fees for moving Avalanche and Phantom Network is 0.1 mim. Can't beat that. No, you can't. What do you use at PM for those network? MetaMask for everything. So check it out. MetaMask, Ethereum. Got to add the networks. Binance, Avalanche, Polygon, Phantom, Arbitrum. You go over here, you go to the icon on the top right, you hit settings, you go down to network, and you're able to add networks. Just Google it. Avalanche, MetaMask, network. And you'll get your network config. For instance, here's Phantom. It's just stuff like this. And you could copy, you could rewind the stream and have the configuration right there. Avalanche. There's the config for Avalanche, and that's it. That's all there is to it. Can you take a peek at the time chart? No, I can't. I can't look at the time chart because I can't stomach it. Man, I wish I. No, I'm not going to FOMO. Stop it. Don't make me look at it. I'm not looking at the time chart. Creative Noah, are you in for any of these no loss pots? I don't know what that means, my friend. Always a pleasure, Killis. Let me wrap it up. Way over today, September 23rd, 1:07 p.m. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Tell everyone to subscribe. I hope it helps. After party on Discord. As always, I wish everyone a good day, and I will see you again tomorrow. Peace.